Hello everyone. Today I'm recording a more conversational video. I would like to get your comments on what I'm going to, on these thoughts that I'm going to just share with you. We've come to a point, I feel that we've come to a point in our evolutionary stage where many a soul have already given plenty of opportunity to evolve and keep refusing to do so. And I've shared this here before, I do feel like this planet will soon, less gradually even than one could think, not be a host to those types of souls anymore. So in that sense, the theory of the exiles of Capella that says that the next generations that choose to come into the shadows will not be able to come to Earth anymore, and those who have refused to learn their lessons over the centuries and millennia here will have to just reincarnate in all the way back in other primitive planets to start all over again, right? Being that they've even regressed into that primeval primitive mode, then the only match to their vibration would be a primeval primitive one as well. When I expose things in this channel, like for instance the liturgy of racist assumptions about this one queen which was invented in the 17th century because she was a foreign queen and people didn't want to have a foreign queen, so you know, the court gossipers and the paper media at the time depicts these horrible caricatures of her, making her look like an animal when she was actually a pretty gorgeous woman. I'm talking about the British queen, German princess, mixed race between German and Portuguese, and then English queen consort, Queen Charlotte. When you see something like that, and people to this very day trying to use those that liturgy of pretty much racist assumptions about her, that she descended from black people simply because she had an ancestor, a Moorish ancestor that had lived, that had died 300 years before she was born, a Moorish ancestor through her Portuguese side. And a Moorish ancestor, Madragana, Afonso II's mistress, whom herself was most probably not even all that Moorish herself, given that she was too far removed from when the first Moors first set foot in the Iberian Peninsula. So this wouldn't have given Charlotte, or Queen Charlotte, wouldn't have even given her 1% of black blood, given that the Moors themselves were not black. That's another racist misconception. And so to still hear British people to this very day try to use that, still going after Queen Charlotte and try to use her for some flag that shows how so not very racist they are, because they had their first black queen. I mean, a woman whose skin tone was practically translucid, a woman whose historians from her time are the first to say that she was incredibly pale, almost too pale, the historians of the time narrate, and you can see that through her portraits. I mean, German mixed with Portuguese, it would look, a person like that would look somewhat pale. I mean, I don't know, I'm just saying. So the jealousy at court, the jealousy of the women at court gossiping, and simply because they weren't used to this phenotype, which, as I expressed here in this channel, was very much a Portuguese looking phenotype, with the clear mix of German in her. I mean, you can definitely see that she's mixed between Portuguese and German. It's all over her face, literally all over her face. Any Portuguese person watching this will say that I'm right. Any German person watching this will agree also to what I'm saying. when they look at the portraits and AI reconstructions of Charlotte, or Queen Charlotte. To those of whom she was a queen, I'm a child of the Republic, as you know, so I could care less about monarchies. Or any kind of hierarchical monarchs, where some are perceived to be as better or more important than others. I really reject completely that, which to me is a completely abhorrent, insulting even to humanity scheme of things. I refute it, and even pretend that it doesn't exist so that I can, you know, operate sanely. Because to think that it still exists is something else. Anyway, regardless, it's the world that I chose to reincarnate in, and so I've made my peace. I've made my peace with that. So to have people now still hanging on to something which was made up about her back then, actually as detrimental to her, actually to put her position in danger, because obviously having black ancestry in the 17th century wouldn't have been seen as a good thing, quite the opposite, and especially in a queen consort, especially in their royalty. To have now these oblivious idiots go fetch that to say, see, we weren't racist to Meghan Markle because we even had a black queen, and see, it's so disgusting, because even if Charlotte were mixed raced and had black ancestry, which she didn't, how could she ever even be black? Even if Charlotte had black ancestry, how can you call a woman that looks like her black? That's also, by the way, yet again, and once more, another racist assumption, because now we're talking about the slaver's one-drop rule, right? The American slaver that stipulated the one-drop rule, which says that so long as you have one drop of black blood, you are black. That's a racist presupposition in of itself. It's the slaver's one-drop rule. So these people are so ignorant, so stupid, and sometimes I feel like not totally cognizant. Sometimes what I feel like neurobiology would explain that our brains can get damaged by lack of education, lack of an interpersonal environment that is stimulating enough for us to evolve and progress and enlarge our brains. And I do feel often that with regards to certain people, the problem really is cognition. It's almost like it's not their fault that they're stupid. And I'm sorry, saying something like this is not very Zen, but then again, I've never claimed in this channel to be a Zen Buddhist or to be Zen. I'm a truth speaker. That's what I am. And sometimes I feel like there's an issue with cognition, and I can explain that. I can explain that multidimensionally very well. What happens is that if over enough lifetimes you refuse to evolve and to progress and to expand your consciousness awareness, you actually start regressing. And so you are born with less and less cognition every time. And especially if we're talking about souls that come in through the shadows, through the shadow astral cities, the houses of solutions, as Halu Gamashi solutions, as Halu Gamashi, the Brazilian spiritualist and anthroposophist, calls them, as they call themselves, in order to allure these types of very immature, very dense souls that really just want to come into this planet to perpetuate the ignorance and the stupidity and the shadows and the density and the suffering. It's something that is very exhausting. I just had to let it out, my exhaustion at it, because I don't think that there's anything that anyone at this point can do for these people. I mean, it's always been on them to evolve and to progress. They have chosen not to, so this planet will also choose to do what it has to do with them. I mean, the planet has already chosen. It's already ongoing. It's already ongoing. Okay, to the rest of us, who wish to continue to expand our consciousness awareness. Let's stay on track, guys. I'll be posting a little less in the next few weeks and potentially months, I have to say. My plans have had to change, because when you are a writer, this is what happens. All of a sudden the muse comes and you start writing and you can't stop writing, and so writing now takes the precedence. So I'm working on my second book and I just can't stop writing, and I would rather focus on that now. And so I'll be posting a little less. But when I do, I want for it to be content that is interesting to you, okay? Not just me babbling about things that I've probably already talked about. Regardless, write down questions in the comment section, because if you do have questions regarding astral projection, spirituality, the other side, the astral colonies of light, the astral colonies of density, what's been going on, if I can fetch one of my experiences in astral projection that can answer your question, I will pop in with a reply, okay, and with a video. If not, I will be mostly writing, but I won't totally be absent. Whenever I do have a bit of divine inspiration to post, I will. And again, keep sending in the questions, because so long as I can answer them, I also will. I love you all, and I'll see you there on the other side for my next video. I can't wait to write this book, but I can't wait to finish this book, but at the same time, I want to take my time. I'm 55 pages in, and I just between yesterday and today, I'm 55 pages in, but I really want to take my time, because I really want it to be perfect. I really want it to be something, okay, and completely perfect this time around. So anyway, love you all, keep following. I'll pop in when I do. Bye.